I beg to differ on that. Yeah, change the default password, but you know the little sticker that they place on the Wi-Fi box. I feel the first thing you should be doing is taking that off, sticking it in a book, because you touched on the physical just now, where we are going to talk about the location of the Wi-Fi box for lack of a better term. But that sticker is also physical, and we also know on that sticker has something called the admin credentials.
Don't let cyberattacks add to your stress. Because cyberpeople.com offers cybersecurity awareness training designed specifically for small businesses like yours. Spot phishing scams, secure your network and customer information, and respond quickly and effectively if a data breach occurs. Visit www.thecyberpeople.com to learn more.
Hello and welcome to the CyberScene podcast. The CyberScene podcast is produced by the Cyber People. The podcast aim is awareness. Anything and everything cyber related. We will use this platform to update you on the Cyber People, on our progress, one-on-one interviews with cybersecurity professionals. We share our opinion on trending cyber incidents. We share tips and tricks to better safeguard yourself inside cyberspace and so much more. Welcome to another episode of the CyberScene podcast. This podcast is produced by the Cyber People. The aim is awareness, anything and everything cyber related. Use this platform to update you on the Cyber People's progress, one-on-one interviews with cybersecurity professionals, share our opinion on trending cyber incidents, share some tips and tricks to better safeguard yourself. You're going to hear it right here. Our aim is 1 to 2 episodes per month. We are working on a series called Our Journey into Cybersecurity. This series will focus on new and experienced professionals, which is perfect for aspiring professionals and people considering a career change. Get an opportunity to hear the journey for other professionals and persons who are now in the industry and what it took for them to get into the industry. Can it help you navigate your journey as well? This podcast is available on Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, and YouTube. The Cyber People is a cybersecurity organization based out of Bridgetown, Barbados, with focus on cybersecurity awareness. That's a word you're going to hear a lot throughout this episode. The Cyber People offer awareness training for community group, NGOs, not-for-profit organizations, public schools, religious organizations. But more information about cybersecurity awareness training is available from the website, thecyberpeople.com. Like to work with the Cyber People, send an email to connect@thecyberpeople.com. So who can benefit from these awareness programs? School children, adults, businesses, everyone. If you are hearing this podcast, then that's how far the Cyber People offering extend. The awareness training programs for nonprofit are open to Barbados and the Caribbean region, actually available right now with free and paid options. So if you want to find out more information about the Cyber People, head over to thecyberpeople.com or send an email, connect@thecyberpeople.com. At this time, I'm going to introduce my co-pilot for this episode, the one and only Omar C. Thank you for joining me, Omar.
Thanks for having me. But yeah, glad to be here again, to help push forward this mission that we embarked upon a little while back, finally putting it into play. So yeah, this evening we're talking about home network security. Looking forward to getting into it, because I know the first two talking points kind of like a pet peeve of mine, something that I hate to see when I go into person's home. So yeah, looking forward to diving into it this evening.
Again, in today's digital age, our homes are increasingly connected to the internet, making them vulnerable to cyber attack. I can remember growing up as a kid, you going into a home with Wi-Fi. What's that? You gotta go outside and play cricket,
play marbles, play football, and you gotta be home by the time the sunset. It wasn't a phone call we used to get or a WhatsApp message. It was like, all right, the sun's setting, we're home.
In this day and age, parents could check up on the children via parental control on the mobile devices, and they can tell which neighbor house the child in, they left school already, and these things are now being incorporated with IoT devices like your Alexa device. That you can say, Alexa, where's Jimmy? And Alexa can say, well, Jimmy is 5 minutes away from home. To protect yourself, your personal information and devices, it is essential to prioritize home network security. So in this episode, we'll discuss key strategies for safeguarding your network, including Wi-Fi network security, network device and IoT security, and then we're going to touch a little bit on some network monitoring and some physical security. I don't know if we're gonna be able to cover everything because there's so much information I want to give you guys. I don't know, Omar. You feel we're gonna be able to cover all of this?
We can try a thing and we can do the best one. For sure. For sure.
Wi-Fi network security. We want to teach you how to create strong passwords, set up a guest network, look at some best practices for securing network attached storage, smart home devices, those same smart bulbs, doorbells, Alexa devices, Fire Sticks, set-top boxes that are Android based, all these other little devices that air freshener and air condition. The IoT industry is so wide.
So wait, even down to the fridge. Right now we got fridge with screens. You can watch a YouTube video. You know, someone teaching you to cook from your kitchen and you're standing there watching them. You know, so it's amazing how far the industry has come, how wide. You know, so yeah. But as we plan to talk about this evening, yes, it is available to you, but is it secure?
Most of these IoT devices favor availability.
Yeah, and integrity over the secure aspect of it. So
I can remember not so long ago, Eufy had an incident where their devices were open and no one knew. Good thing the devices affected were doorbells, so there's on your outside.
not knowing that someone could be there watching, you know, not knowing. Yeah.
This episode is going to teach you, or at least give you enough information so you can arm yourself to better protect against these things. So let's start off with Wi-Fi network security. I'm thinking one of the first thing that you should do is change the default Wi-Fi password.
No, I beg to differ on that. Yeah, change the default password, but you know the little sticker that they place on the Wi-Fi box. I feel the first thing you should be doing is taking that off, sticking it in a book, because you touched on the physical just now, where we are going to talk about the location of the Wi-Fi box, for lack of a better term. But that sticker is also physical. And we also know on that sticker has something called the admin credentials. So imagine I come to your home, I come in at Clifford, and Clifford tell me, man, just check on the Wi-Fi box, all the information there. But I use in my mind now, I thinking I could try out. So I see the admin password and the admin login, and I try a thing, I realize, well, Clifford and change it. So what I do? Change it for Clifford. So I get on the internet, you understand? But now I can remove that same sticker on behalf of for the person they're not knowing, and they lock their Wi-Fi or change their password and username and go about my way. So now they're in the house out to sea. So for me personally, remove that sticker first, put it in a safe place until you get a chance to change the password, or like the step one of the password changing.
When I was doing these installations, that's one of the things. We had a booklet. In that booklet, there was a section that you had to write off the Wi-Fi name and the WPA key and the admin stuff and your phone number and the account number. What we used to do, instead of taking that sticker and place it on the box on the modem, we used to take it and stick it in the book. So it used to come in two copies. We take the first copy, we stick it in the book. You put that up safe, and then we'll give you the second copy that you would put somewhere else. If somebody comes to you, you can give them that Wi-Fi password. But again, that was before I got into cybersecurity. So while we were providing a little bit of security there in terms of not sticking it on the box, and put it in a book or giving any sticker to hold on to, you the subscriber, but you still have to, if you give that sticker to someone that comes to your house, a guest, all the information is there.
Correct. All the information.
So that is why you still need to change the Wi-Fi password, or at least change the admin credentials to get into the device. That way, the admin or whatever is the default there. If people come, you give them the Wi-Fi, they try it, it won't work.
Correct.
So you create something that is not too simple that someone can guess. And when it comes to creating a password, you want to create a password that is, one, not too simple, not something someone can easily guess. It must be complex, and it must have different characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbol, because you always want a strong password. So we would say not put the sticker there, which is fine, which is step one of two. The next step is to change that default password. But here's the next twist. Not all devices, but this would come again with discretion, setting up separate guest network.
Yeah, for sure.
Some devices, so we're probably not go into details into how to do it on your device, because different devices do it differently. But the idea behind it is that you put your guests on a separate network. Either you turn on the guest network feature of your modem if it has one, Or I would say you buy a separate router and you put it in a common area that you know your guest is going to be, the living room or the family room or wherever. And that is for when guests come, they connect to that. That's going to be isolated and that's going to give them a connection directly to the internet. The idea is to separate your network, separate your Wi-Fi, so that when a guest comes by you, they are connected on a separate network and they don't have access to your internal items. WPS, what you know as the WPS button or the WPS pin. Let me tell you how dangerous that is. When I go at someone's house, the first thing I do is blow up my cell phone, go to Wi-Fi, select the name of the Wi-Fi that is in a part of the house, and then I go and press the WPS button at the side of the router. And voila, in less than a minute, I'm connected. That's going to tie into where the physical placement of your actual device in your house. If it's somewhere easy accessible, someone come in and they can see it right in front of them, press a button, and they won't ask you for the Wi-Fi password, but they're connected to the Wi-Fi and you are none the wiser. What experience have you, Omar, like with dealing with WPS?
Well, much similar to yours. You're walking, you see it, you ask for the Wi-Fi. Sometimes person say, man, go and check the box for that same sticker that we were talking about earlier. But as you say, we know WPS is a little faster. All we need is the name. So similar to you, that's been my experience of it. It was something that always used to be mind-boggling to me, as in how easy a connection could be made for anyone that comes into a building. It doesn't have to be a home, but any building I see that Wi-Fi, I know that I could just press this and get home. But not everyone, as you were saying, are like us, security-minded. A threat actor might come in. Then again, it might be someone who have a device that is infected, or someone is already connected to that device and they connect to your home network through that WPA. For the threat actor, is like, oh, there's another network that I could attack. It all boils back down to what you say, to the physical location. And for me personally, I think that you should disable that WPS option.
That would be my recommendation as well, because if you have a password that is you set, that you know, passphrase, I would say, then you don't need it. And one of the good things I like about the Wi-Fi, the particular, especially WPA2, is that you have to have at least 8 characters for your password. So that is a step in the right direction. So why don't you tell us about the next item on our list, Omar?
So we're going to be talking about network devices and IoT security. Clifford in his introduction, and when I chimed in, we talk about the IoT devices. One might ask, what is the IoT device? It's the Internet of Things device, which is, as Clifford would have said, the speaker that we might talk to in the house that turns off the light bulb that is connected to our phone, where we can, change the color, dim the light, turn it off and on, those kind of stuff. And one of the main things too, I think people might overlook, are the security cameras. That is an IoT device. Yes, we have providers who will sell those cameras to the general population. Yes, you might have a password on your app to get into your camera settings, but do you have 2FA connected? A random person can download the same app that you have and find your cameras. That person could be in your house on your Wi-Fi. If you don't have a guest Wi-Fi, I might stumble across how to get into your camera settings as well too. So main things that we could drill home when it comes to securing IoT devices is having 2FA setup, because they are small devices. They don't necessarily come built in with all the protection system or anything. So
apart from the Alexa devices and maybe the Ring, not the doorbell, but some other device, I haven't yet to meet devices that are that secure. I mean, if you guys know of IoT devices that have firewall or like antivirus, anti-malware features, doesn't drop a message or drop a link in the comments for us so we can check them out. Anything internet connection that in your house to make your life easy, light, cameras, fridge, air conditioning units, all these things are IoT devices. If you want to use these things, to put them in a contained environment. So here's what I do. My IoT devices is actually on a separate network from my guest network and from my internal network, because those devices just need access to the internet to be able to communicate to the app. So you just need internet access to the server the manufacturer provides. So a separated network is a good way to provide a barrier of protection against information going out. If you're going to use these IoT devices, you should read up on it, see some of the benefits and some of the disadvantages, what you're exposing yourself to.
I also believe that they should keep the firmware updated. Yeah, because it not only adds another layer of security, but normally with these updates, it's because the company yes, may see a bug that needs fixing, might be a camera not working too well or whatever, but security updates always come along with these other updates. So once you have your firmware updated, it should help you stay secure, and I also want to drive home the point of 2FA. It might seem like a extra requirement. It might seem to inconvenience persons because they might not have the phone close by depending on the IoT device they're dealing with, but adds an extra layer of security to your device.
Providing that two-factor, the second factor authentication, even if someone, your friend, maybe there's the plumber or the electrician, you don't know the state of their devices or you don't know their state of mind, having 2FA prevent threat actors to gain access to your network and to your device through their affected devices, because what's going to happen, they might be able to figure out your password, figure out what your IP address, figure out all these different, but then when they go to authenticate, take over your account, they're stopped by 2FA. There's more ways to gain access to your network than there is to protect. Tell me what you think, Omar. I think if a supplier or a manufacturer stop providing update for a device, I think it's time to change, because
it then becomes a legacy device, and we know the story of legacy devices.
Yeah.
From the time security updates stop, you're vulnerable.
And you know, you're being exposed to and at the mercy of these threat actors. And like I said, like not like I would like to state, you know, is ransomware. It is just to have the information that they can use it for could use for identification purpose. They could steal your identity. Maybe there's enough information on your network or the things that you do. And as we're gonna get into some more serious and some more heavy topics in the future, in future episodes, that would crawl your skin in terms of how sophisticated threat actors are and how the level that they will go to gain access to your device. So all these things that are seem convenient, and I will use a term God sent, they come with a heavy price, and if you're not aware how to protect yourself, it can cost you dearly. So I want to drop two more things. That's network monitoring and physical security. If you start being proactive about it, you can secure yourself. Network monitoring, you want to monitor for signs of compromise. What do I mean by that? A little advanced for this episode, but I believe the people need to know. So and this is just one way in which we look for sign of compromise. That is cybersecurity analysts or vulnerability specialists or SOC analysts. A cybersecurity professional, one of the ways to tell if a network or a system is compromised is through monitoring that device or that network, because it allows you to monitor normal activities, and then you could also monitor abnormal activity. So you know, you went and buy a 6-pack of smart bulbs from Home Depot, and you connect these devices. Got one particular bulb that either it tripping out or it don't do what you ask it to do. It turn off your light and it turn itself back on, or you know, it won't go off or something like that. Then you go into the networking devices, you have a smart bulb that is compromised, and data is flowing through that smart bulb. For example, all your other 5 smart bulbs is only using like 10 megabytes because all you do is turn it on once or twice. So let's say for the week you're monitoring this device, 5 devices is reading at maybe 10 to 20 megabytes of activity, but then you got one bulb that is 100 or 300 megabytes. Something wrong. Not to say you hacked right away, but it could be that is a bad firmware, or it could be that the device is actually exposed. Maybe it's sending more information than it should, which means that a threat actor is connected to your network through that one smart bulb or that one smart device, that one IoT. And the ways to tell is to monitor for normal activity versus abnormal activity to determine whether it is. And then there are tools and techniques for network monitoring. Most times the network devices have built-in monitoring tool, but if you want to do it, there's software like Wireshark. So you could, you know, do a Google search or YouTube search, Wireshark, see how it works, see the benefits of it. And if you are tech savvy, or you know, you feel, you know, you think you got this, you want to try a thing, then I would say you could play around with Wireshark. I don't know about you, Omar, but I think nothing wrong with playing around with your network, like figuring things out, learning the ropes.
Well, it's something I do now and then. And from the last episode, you know, there's no IT background, but you learn certain things. And then when you find people like Clifford, you know, you can send a phone message or a WhatsApp message, and they're there to help. I'm not saying to call Clifford or send Clifford an email. But yeah, like as Clifford said, sometimes a YouTube video helps. Watch it before you do it, or watch it along whilst you do these things. It goes a long way. I'm going to say that because there's not always a time where you could call someone, and we have persons out there who like to think of everything, you know. So watch a YouTube video, read up about it. But when in doubt, I'm sure you can find someone that you could give a call to that can help you, you know, figure out how your network is going.
I'm gonna let you tackle the last item on the list.
Which is the physical security. So just as we talked about earlier, physical security. I believe you could think of it in when you go to bed at night, you lock up. You know, you make sure your car is locked away. I'm not telling you to now go and put your router in a lockbox or anything like that, but make sure it is someplace in your house where you and your family alone goes. You know, like it shouldn't be easily accessible to your guests. Things like your phones, you know, cell phones, tablets, laptops, don't leave them lying around. First thing first, I think you should have at least a pin, you know, connected to these devices so that when they are inactive for a little while, say 3 minutes, 2 minutes, it locks. That is also a part of physical security because you don't want anyone to just come and pick up your phone and you know they could get in, swipe left. So yeah, all of those things boil down to physical security. But for the purpose of home networks, I think what we touched on before in making sure your box, your router is in a location that is accessible to you, the homeowner, not that anyone can just walk through the door and find it, and the removal of the code. Clifford mentioned that when he was working with the company, they will place it on the bootlet. You should also secure that bootlet someplace that only you have access to, not that it is maybe on the counter or wherever you keep your bills. And you tell the person, oh, go and look inside the bills there, you can see, you know, like it might seem as a simple thing, you know the person, but at the same time, it is all about the physical security aspect of the protection of your network.
I like how you mentioned go and look in the bills. One of the growing trend that I have seen, often go into person's home and they have the sticker with the Wi-Fi information on the fridge.
Yeah, like an emergency number.
You can have a conversation for hours on different ways that you can be compromised, but you know your phone and your computer and your devices have sensitive information on them that are connected to that same network. When it becomes compromised, your information is out on the darknet. Someone will sell it, someone will buy it, and someone will use it. And when you find out, it might be too late. But when it comes to awareness, especially cybersecurity awareness, there's so much that we can share that will help you benefit.
2FA goes a long way. It might seem tedious, it might seem like an extra step, but it goes a long way. So there are many apps out there where you can link your the accounts that you want to have secure, your devices that you want to have secure. You can look into those. I will not stop stressing, it goes a long way. It's an added layer of protection. And as Clifford said earlier, someone might have your password and think they are getting through until it comes to the point where they have to authenticate. And you will then see how that strengthens. That could be the determining factor too of you losing something or not. So 2FA for me should be one of the main takeaways because it works on your IoT devices. It also helps with physical security, and when we talk about leaving your phone around, you know, sometimes you might put in the password, but then you need the person facial recognition or thumbprint.
As tedious as it may be, it goes a long way to leveling up your cybersecurity game. Anything more would take us into a conversation, not for this episode. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow. You can catch the CyberScene podcast on Spotify, on YouTube, on Amazon Music, TuneIn, and soon will be available on the other podcast platform. If this has been beneficial to you, please share it with someone else. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Don't let cyberattacks add to your stress. TheCyberPeople.com offers cybersecurity awareness training designed specifically for small businesses like yours. Spot phishing scams, secure your network and customer information, respond quickly and effectively if a data breach occurs. Visit www.thecyberpeople.com to learn more.